The Library of Unspoken Words. In the labyrinthine city of Verenthia, where ivy clung to stone facades like a lover's embrace, lived Celeste Moreau, a 31-year-old archivist with porcelain skin and a gaze that held the weight of centuries. She worked in the Grand Library, a cathedral of books with stained glass windows that painted the air in hues of amber and rose. Her hands, delicate yet steady, catalogued forgotten manuscripts, her life a quiet dance of ink and dust. But beneath her poised exterior lay a fragility. She feared abandonment. A scar left by her father, who'd sailed away when she was 9, promising letters that never came. Her motivation was to preserve stories, to keep the past from slipping into oblivion, even as her own heart remained unwritten. Across the city, in a garret overlooking the river, lived Raphael Durand, a 34-year-old playwright with tousled chestnut hair and a voice that could coax tears from stone. His plays had once lit up Verenthia's theaters, his words a tapestry of longing and wit, until a scathing review accused him of lacking soul, shattering his confidence. Now he scribbled in solitude, his fear not the blank page, but the possibility that his deepest truths would never resonate. His drive was to craft a story so authentic it could heal the cracks within him. Their worlds collided on a rain-soaked afternoon in the Grand Library's rare books room. Celeste was perched on a ladder, retrieving a crumbling tome when Raphael slipped in, seeking refuge from the storm. His coat dripped onto the parquet floor, and she frowned, her voice crisp. "You're ruining the silence." He smirked, undeterred, and countered, "Silence is just a stage waiting for lines." She rolled her eyes, but as he lingered, browsing the shelves, she noticed his fingers tracing the spines with a reverence that mirrored her own. Then he pulled out a thin volume, a collection of love letters from the 17th century, and read aloud, "My heart is a lantern, dim without your flame." The words hung in the air, and her breath hitched, a spark igniting in the stillness. They began meeting there, their encounters a delicate ritual. She'd leave him annotated pages, notes in the margins like, "This line feels like dusk," and he'd respond with scraps of dialogue pinned to her desk. She guards time, but I'd steal every second with her. Their romance unfolded in whispers and glances, in the rustle of turning pages. One evening, he brought a velvet pouch and spilled its contents onto the table. A handful of glass beads, each a swirl of color. "I found these by the river," he said, his voice soft. "They reminded me of your eyes." She flushed, picking one up, and murmured, "Then they're ours." From then on, they'd exchange a bead each meeting, a silent vow growing between them. Their haven was a hidden alcove behind a tapestry, where sunlight slanted through a cracked window, gilding the air. There, they'd sit knee to knee, her reading him poetry, him weaving tales of star-crossed lovers. The first time he touched her hand, tracing the veins beneath her wrist, she shivered. Not from cold, but from the warmth that flooded her, thawing the ice she'd built around herself. "You make me want to believe in endings," she confessed, her voice trembling. He leaned closer, his breath brushing her cheek, and whispered, "Then let's write one together." Their first kiss was tentative, then deep, tasting of ink and rain, the library's hush amplifying every heartbeat. But shadows loomed. One day, as they sat in their alcove, a woman appeared, tall, with raven hair and a smile sharp as a quill's nib. "Raphael," she purred, "still hiding in books?" Her name was Isolde, his former muse and lover, a singer whose voice had inspired his early works. She'd left him when his star faded, and now she was back, offering a collaboration, a play with her as the lead, a chance to reclaim his glory. Celeste's chest tightened as Raphael hesitated, his eyes flickering with old dreams. "It's just business," he assured her later, but doubt gnawed at her. Was she enough to hold him? The twist came unexpectedly. That night, sorting through a donated trunk, Celeste found a bundle of letters tied with faded ribbon addressed to her, in her father's hand. They'd been sent decades ago, lost in transit, each one a plea for forgiveness, a map of his regrets. The final line read, "I hope you find someone who stays." She wept, the paper crinkling under her tears, and realized she couldn't let fear dictate her story. She ran to Raphael's garret, arriving as he packed a suitcase. "Isolde?" she asked, voice breaking. He shook his head, dropping the bag. "No, I was coming to you. I told her no, I don't need her stage. I need you." Rain lashed the windows as he pulled her close, his hands framing her face. "You're my muse, Celeste. Every word I write is yours." She clutched the glass bead in her pocket, its cool surface grounding her, and kissed him. Fierce, unguarded, a collision of trust and longing. They made a promise then, beneath the garret's slanted roof, to fill their own book with moments, to never let the other fade into silence. Years later, they'd sit in that alcove, now their home, the library theirs to tend, surrounded by books and beads, their daughter stringing the glass into necklaces. They'd laugh about the letters that brought her back to him, the play he never wrote for Isolde, and the day they chose each other over fear. And every evening, as the city quieted, they'd share a bead and a whispered line, their love a story no archive could contain.